What's that sign say? Bags are subject to search. Anyone caught violating will be kicked off the bus. Man, they're going to search my bag. I got 4 Coronas in my bag. Oh, no. I'm going to get in trouble. I just got out of prison this morning. What if the bus station searches this bag? Oh, this is bad. This is so bad. Prison has messed me up. Look at me over here sweating over getting searched at a bus station and getting caught with 4 Coronas. If they only knew what I rode on the bus with and Amtrak's with and stuff I've done. Oh, man. I thought I was a gangster. I'm not a gangster no more. I'm getting caught with these beers. Kick me off the bus. I ain't even been to see my probation officer yet. Oh, hell no. I'm about to throw these in the trash. I already drank too. I'm pretty buzzed. I ain't been out but an hour. Dude looks cool. I'll see if he wants them. Maybe he'll get caught with them. Because I ain't taking that risk. You got to be the stupidest motherfucker. Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. Happy Saturday. As you can see, I'm at work. Hopefully it's the last day on this job. And then I'll be back in the Tri-City areas. I'll be closer to my house, not out in the middle of nowhere. I've tried to upload several times this week, and the upload times are 8, 10, 12 hours. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. So I got a couple other videos that I need to drop as well. But as y'all can see from the title, it's my life part 3. I'm hoping to be able to sum up everything that's taken place from where we left off with me being in the hole and getting ready to come home up until today. But a lot has happened. I'm going to do my very best to make it all fit in today's video. But I know y'all like this series, so it may end up being a part 4. Like I said, I'll try to keep it down to part 3. We will see. So yes, it is Saturday. Yes, I'm at the place that I do not want to be at. Work. People say, man, you do all this on YouTube. Why are you still working? Why wouldn't you keep working? Answer me that. Why would you quit your day job for YouTube? Like YouTube is going to be here forever. Like YouTube is a guaranteed thing. What if something messes up? If that check don't come through, what am I supposed to tell my family? What am I supposed to tell the people I pay the bills to? I relied on YouTube to pay me? And yes, they do. But I ain't never been the type to just rely on one thing. I'm one of those guys that I want to have a bunch of different eggs in my basket so that if something goes wrong here, I'm okay there. Working is just what I do. It's what I know. I'm a man. I get up every day, and even if I'm not needed, I'm there. My guys are going to get up and they're going to be there. Guess what? I'm going to get up and I'm going to be there. Even if I'm not needed, I'm there if I'm needed. You know what they say? When the cat's away, the mice will play. Not that I don't trust people to do what they're supposed to do when I'm not around. But hey, let's face it. I don't trust people. People say you got to be able to trust your friends. I'm not a guy that does friends. I do associates. Friends can become your enemies real fast. When you have associates, and instead of calling people friends, you just start saying, hey, it's my associate, and you set your mind on we're associates. It's what allows me to be able to flick that switch on and off to cut people off in life and walk away without being all damaged. So without further ado, my life, part 3. You know how to seen it. You know how to lived it. So, let's relive it. Since we haven't talked a lot this week, I'm going to give y'all some quick updates. My mother, stepfather, Billy, they are much better now. The COVID has run its course. They're still testing positive. They have to give up negative test results before they can return to work. It's been 2 weeks now, and they're still both testing positive, so it's put them out of work. But luckily with their jobs, they, get some type of compensation while they're out. My brother's kicked the COVID. I haven't heard much from him. he's got out and he's okay. He's doing his thing, you know. I'd like to hear more from him, but I don't. It's just what it is. He's gotten out and it's kind of like he just wants to be left alone. Last time I seen him was at Busch Gardens. I showed y'all some pictures of one of the videos of that. Talked to him on the phone one time after that. Now he's just kind of MIA, man. He's not missing. I know where he's at. He just, I guess now he just wants to be left alone. Maybe he needs to readjust. And I understand. I've been there. I've done that. And, you know, I guess in due time he'll come back around. I wish him the best. Spoke with the people at the transmission shop. Super cool dude I talked to, man. Shout out to you if you're watching. And they believe what happened was that the drive shaft that was installed was bent. Now, if the drive shaft is bent, that is going to cause it to wobble. That destroyed my transfer case. Also, it burned the transmission completely up. They checked my motor. There's nothing wrong with my motor. Anybody that knows about cars or trucks, you have a coolant overflow so that if your vehicle gets to a temperature that's too hot, rather than messing up the engine, it will squirt the fluids out of there, disperse them, get them up out there, make some room. And then if you continue to push it after that, it's when you run into problems. My truck's got, you know, safety features that shut the truck down to keep you from doing that. Sensors kick on. Nah, buddy, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to sit right here and wait old Danny to come pick your ass up with the rollback and get this back to the transmission shop. So they're putting everything together now. Then the Hummer will be back to me. I actually told the dude, take the Hummer home. Take it home a day or two. You drive it. And then you call me and tell me it's ready because I don't want to deal with this again. I told him, if I pass you on the interstate and I see you, I'm not going to be mad that you're driving my Hummer. I'm asking you to take it and go home with it and then come back to work. And the next day, come back to work and then take it home. And then on the third day, call me and say, hey, yeah, the Hummer's doing what it's doing. Only thing I asked him to do, I said, just don't blow my speakers. I got two 15-inch sundowns in the back, you know, Rockford Falls Gate door speakers, everything in the truck's Rockford Falls Gate, except for the sundowns in the back. You know what I mean? Don't mess my shit up. Other than that, we're good. Hope to have the Hummer back this week. Brand new everything is going in it. And we'll be out the Charger and back in the Hummer. That's where we're at. Let's get into my life, part 3. So I left a couple parts out on part 2 that I need to tap into because they play into part 3 on like how I met my wife, the circumstances leading up to it. After we do that, then we'll jump into where I just went to the hole. So I'm maybe a year and a half shy of going home. And one of my exes from way back in the day returns. Starts writing again. Starts coming to visit again. And this isn't the one I told you about in the visitor room. This is somebody just completely different. And I honestly had been planning on, my plan was to go home. And I'm short now. I'm under a year and a half. I can entertain the thought of, you know, a relationship. Like I told you, I can cut off the emotions at any time. It's my defense mechanism. Something I've been able to do for a very long time. I'm not the guy that sits there, cries himself to sleep. Oh my God, she's going to be with somebody else. I understand that. I'm an adult. At the moment that I cut you off, I've pretty much said, go be with somebody else. Well, my ex returned shortly after I get to the last prison that I would be at until I came home, which was Indian Creek. She's writing. She's sending pictures. She's coming to see me. She's picking the phone up. We're talking all the time. I'd known that she was getting high, but I didn't really know the severity of it. And I'm not knocking her or anybody for that. People go through things in life. I get it. But I find out from somebody else that she is getting high. And she's getting high on heroin. Like I said, I'm not here to bash anybody or put anybody down, so I'm going to leave names out of this. You know what I mean? There's no point in doing that. People have lives. People make their mistakes and go on. I wouldn't want to tarnish anyone's name. I get to talking. By now, Philly's been out of prison for years. I'm still locked up. As y'all know, Philly was my co-defendant. Brian, he was my co-defendant. He usually is one of the only dudes I really rock with in the streets like that, because he's one of the dudes I know that's going to hold his tongue if things happen. He's that guy that if, God forbid, you had to bury a body, he'd help you. And no matter what he had going on in life, he would never tell anybody about it. You know, that's the bond me and him had. I call him from time to time, and he had actually been up to the prison a couple times. I'm not going to tell you how he got in. He didn't use his ID, because people say, you can't go back to prison. You're right. You can't go back up to the prison and come in. They're not going to let him, being my co-defendant, come back in. He hadn't been out long enough. You have to be out a certain amount of time. He had actually come to see me a couple times. He came with her a couple times, and that's when I was still at Greensville, and then I hadn't seen him no more, right? I get on the phone with him one day, and he's like, what's up, man? I said, shit, everything's good, man. I'm still doing what I do, man, on my workout crazy, reading a lot. I work over in the warehouse and Enterprise. I package chemicals and drive forklifts all day in the prison. That's what I do, man. I'm trying to stay out the way and come home. You still talking to the girl? I'm like, yeah, we still be talking. Why, what's up? He was like, ain't nothing, man. What you gonna do when you get out? I said, I'm gonna go home and probably move in with her. And he's like, man, I don't even like doing this. Doing what? I mean, my brother, so I gotta tell you. Tell me what, man? Man, she been sleeping with this other dude, man. I don't know how many times it happened, but I know what happened. And she tried to say she was drunk, she was this, and she was that. And I told you, if you're honest with me and you tell me what it is, it's up to me to accept it. You know what I mean? And some guys are like, just tell me. She'd always proclaim, no, that would never happen. I could never see myself doing that. I wouldn't do that. And I'm like, all right. A small part of me believed her, because I'm not one to trust it very easy. He tells me about the situation. I said, He said, she kind of knows I'm going to tell you, but she don't really expect you to do much. I said, what you mean do much? What do you mean? What is there I can do? He was like, she was at first like saying she was afraid you was going to leave her. But then her homegirl was like, girl, you tripping. He ain't going nowhere. He needs that money you send him. Dude's locked up. Dudes ain't letting girls go while they locked up. You got me screwed all the way up, messed all the way up. There's no price tag on me, my morals, how I feel, what I think. You can't put a price tag on it and say, well, because I sent him a little bread, I can do whatever I want to him. Nice try, wrong guy. I get her on the phone, get to talking to her about it, and she tells me what happened, and I'm like, so with the getting high thing, that's something I can't come home to. I can't come home to somebody wrapped up in an addiction, and now they're sleeping with this guy thing. I'm like, no, too much is going on. Let me go ahead and nip this in the bud. So I called my mom's house one day, and my brother, my youngest brother, he is out at the time. No. My youngest brother is locked up. And my mom's got pictures of me and my brother on the refrigerator. Both of us are incarcerated. Some families have like Christmas pictures. My mom had like prison pictures. Pictures of me, pictures of my brother. My brother had met this girl while he was locked up, and she would go to my mom's house and she would call, wait for my brother to call there to talk to her. They had a set time every day. He called my mom's phone. She would be there so she could talk to him. The woman is now my wife. They hang out together. They work together. She rides with my brother's girl. Goes to my mom's house. She sees my picture on the fridge and it's like, who was that? That's my, that's my man's brother, is what my brother's girl says. That's Jesse's brother. Where's he at? He's locked up. When does he get out? Now I'm down to about a year. It's out in about a year. I need to talk to him. Ironically enough, I called my mom. Maybe, I don't know how long after how long they had been there, how long until she had seen the picture. But I called my mom. My mom passes the phone around, let me talk to everybody. And then the girl, my brother's, girlfriend at the time, was like, hey, my friend wants to talk to you. So I'm like, all right. Puts on the phone. We talk for a couple minutes. And I say, hey, I'd like to talk to you again, if possible. Like, you don't have to. But if so, talk to my people, give them your number, and they'll explain to you how to do everything, how to set it up so I can call you. She says, all right. In the meantime, I've broken up with the other girl. And I'm a whole entire dickhead. Like, I didn't just break up. Like, when I break up, it's take everything that's yours. So I went over to property. Property is where when you order things and they come in, they come through property. Any new items that come into prison, everything has to go through property first to be x-rayed. I tell the girl on the phone, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. You gonna leave me? You gonna break up with me over this? I'm like, I don't know, man. So I sit down and I write this really long letter because I didn't feel like on a 20-minute conversation I could express everything I had to say. And I sent her the letter pretty much saying, yeah, I can't, I don't let people play me. I don't let people get close to me, and this is why. I take everything that she has, because she had been around off and on throughout the 10 years. I take everything she's ever sent me. Every picture, every letter, every holiday card, any picture with me and her in it, anything related to her. I go over to property. I put it, I think it was 2 different shoe boxes. They were actually Pro Timberland boot boxes. I put this stuff in these boxes. I had all that stuff mailed to her house. I have no need for it. I don't want to see the pictures. I don't need the letters. I don't need the cards. I don't need none of this shit no more. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt played. I give it a little while. My mom and them comes and sees me, and I don't call the woman that's now my wife. I don't call her right off the bat. I give it some days. Then I gave it a couple weeks. After I'd done the breakup and everything, I give her a call, and we started talking. The first thing she tells me is, look, I'm not trying to break up no happy home. If you're in a relationship, like, there's no point in you calling me. You don't need to be calling me. I said, I'm not in a relationship. Like, me and the girl broke up. You ain't got to lie, and I'm not going to talk to you as long as you're with somebody else. I said, look, me and the girl broke up, man. Like, I'm not with the girl. I'm not. Once she realizes that to be true, that would be the beginning of me and her conversating. Which takes us up to the point, and I know that was a lot, but I had to break it down, which takes us up to the point of where we left off with part 2. I told her I'm going to the hole because I'm refusing to move. A part of me felt like that was the best option for me at the time. Little things were really getting under my skin. I had a lot of anxiety about getting ready to go home, a lot of paranoia about enemies I created in the streets, not realizing a decade has passed, not realizing a lot of these dudes have died. A lot of these dudes aren't in the greatest of health because I went away to prison and they went on to be dope fiends, crackheads, alcoholics, dudes that once were jacked up and big. When I left, I come home and these dudes are diabetic, can barely breathe, like they look like they've aged 30 years. I didn't know all this. I do my time in the hole, and it felt like it was peaceful, but it felt like forever. I come out the hole, I move over. I was in 5 building at the time, and I move over to 6 building, which is the transition building. Everybody in this building has 6 months or less. I've been bucking. Now I can't buck no more. They take me out and they put me in 6. Asked me pretty much because they knew that I was problematic. Where would I best? I told them, look, I don't do well with sharing small areas with other men. Don't put me on no top bunk. Don't put me on no bunk. And have me sharing no little tiny aisle with no other man. It's not going to work. So they take me and put me on the very back wall. So there's no bunk beside me. There's just a big brick wall. My bunk being the very last bunk, and then the bunks go down the line. So when I get up in the morning, I sit in that area. There's nobody in that area to bother me. My bunkie, the guy that sleeps on top, he gets off the opposite side of the bunk. So he shares the aisle with the guy that sleeps next to me in that bunk. The day of reckoning is coming. I tell the girl, I said, this is the girl that, I now married. I said, I need you to do me a favor. What's up? I said, I'm taking the bus. Why would you take the bus? Why don't you just have me come get you? No, I need to gather my thoughts, man. A lot has changed. Like, I've been in prison for the last decade. I can't just come out, hop in the car like I just got bonded out of jail and been in jail a week. I've been gone over 10 years. Like I need to wrap my mind around the fact that I'm getting out. Like I'm out. So I'm gonna take the bus and then you can pick me up from the Richmond bus station. You sure? Yeah. So what do you need me to do? Bring me a change of clothes up here. I already look like a whole entire convict. I don't want to be riding the bus on the prison issue with the prison issued uniform on. So I'm in communication with my mom and the girl. Tell my mom says she got me a phone. She got me the Windows phone, one of the most confusing phones. I didn't know nothing about these phones. And I come home, I got a square ass phone made by Windows. If y'all remember the Windows phone. I tell the girl, bring me a change of clothes, please. What do you want to wear? Look, I'm a simple man. Bring me a pair of, black Air Maxes, some black basketball shorts, a black wife beater, and I'm good to go. And I'm fitted. She brings all that up there. She throws my phone inside the shoe. And I told her, I said, lift the sole of the shoe up and put $20 underneath the sole. Because if the guards see it, they're going to steal it. She drops the box off. They call her and tell her, he can't have this phone. You have to come pick this up. She returns all the way back up there and gets the phone. The night before I'm set to go home, I am all to pieces. I look calm on the outside, but I'm like a duck swimming. You ever seen like a reference of a duck swimming? They just glide across the water, but underwater their feet are moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. That was me. I was going about my regular daily routine. I looked calm on the surface, but inside I was racing 1,000,000 miles an hour. I just did not think they were going to let me go. There's no possible way. I have dreamed of this day until the point that the dream has become nightmares. In my dreams, they would release me and then they would arrest me as soon as I got let out. Or I would get released and something would happen beyond my control and immediately they would arrest me and I'd be back in prison. Or in my dreams, I would get released and then I would wake up and I'd be back in prison. So I was like waking up in my dream as I was dreaming. Then I'd wake up again and really be in prison and have never got released to begin with. So I have a whole lot going on mentally as far as getting released. It's hard to believe. Anybody that's done a good amount of time will tell you, it just does not seem like reality. You've watched many men take that walk. They got their little sack over their shoulders. All right, Joe. With the little bit of mail and stuff they're taking home. Sometimes they have their TV under their arm. All right, Jay. And you watch them take that walk. You watch them go through that gate. And just like that, you know they're gone. Wow, that man just went home. It doesn't feel real. Me and her talked that night on the phone. What do you want to eat tomorrow? I said, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You did 10 years. You don't know what you want to eat tomorrow? I want to eat you. I mean, like, I don't know what I want to eat, man. I don't know. We'll figure that out when I get out. So what's the plan? They let me out of here. I think I leave here about 7:30. They're going to pack me up before count, take me over to property, and then super early, maybe earlier than that, they're going to put me with a correctional officer inside of one of the prisons, little white SUVs, and they're going to, drive me to the Hampton bus station and pretty much drop me off. That's it. With a bus ticket, I get on the bus. Bus brings me to Richmond. You meet me at the Greyhound station off Boulevard in Richmond. What time you want me to be there? I don't know. It says I'll arrive like 11, something like that. So be there at 10. Ain't no telling. All right. I burn up the rest of the money on my phone because once I go home tomorrow, you can't get no refunds on the money that you deposit on your phone account in prison. So I'm going to use it. I use it up. I call my mom. She asked me, are you ready to get out? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And there was a time I've told y'all, she asked me, and you remember this, 7, 8 years into my bid, if I was ready to come home. And I told her no. I said, I'm not ready to come home. If I was to come home today, I would be back in prison. My mind is not, I'm still dealing with a lot in here. I got a lot going on every day. At that point, I was still at Greensville. Nah, Mom, I'm not ready to get out. I'm not. I wouldn't want to go home today. because I wouldn't want to come back. Talked to my mom that night before I got released, and yeah, Mom, I'm ready to come home. Well, I hope you do everything you said you were going to do. Well, you ain't got to worry about me. I'm done. Like, I got a second chance at life. I'm, at this point, 34 years old now. Been doing this since I was a kid. Like, I can't keep doing this. My life it's passing me by. I've got nephews and nieces that are, in third, fourth grade that weren't alive when I got locked up. Girls that were, 15 years old or 25, 26 now. Most of my friends are dead. My mother's gotten old. Like, life has changed. I don't want this no more. I need to be there for all that. My son is 12. He was in a diaper when I left. A diaper. He's 12 and got a whole entire mustache growing in. Yeah, Mom, I'm done. Well, I hope so. You've said that in the past. Well, I ain't never felt like this in the past. Well, just let me show you. I'm done. Like, you have nothing to worry about. All right, baby. We love you. See you tomorrow. All right, Mom. That night I tossed and turned. Laying there. Every little noise. What they do when you get released that early, usually they'll come over the intercom and they'll say, Williams, bag and bag, pack your stuff, you're going home. My dudes will hoot, holler, hoot, holler, hoot, holler. When they release you before count, that means they're going to come around about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and get you so they can get you processed and not hold up count. They come by my bunk, Williams. They whisper it, tap my bunk. Williams, what's up? Come on. I don't think I said what's up. I think I looked at them and all my stuff was already packed. My homeboy Lil Bubba, I given him everything. 100 plus some CDs, 2 pair of Timberlands, my sneakers, everything I owned that I didn't feel like needed to leave the prison. Them guys in prison would rather have them CDs. Out here, ain't no point in having a CD, you know what I mean? Like, I left all that stuff. Left it to him. You sell it, you do what you're going to do with it. You can get a lot of money for them CDs, 100 CDs, $5 a pop. You do the math. They take me over the property. They go through my stuff. Lead me to the front. And I'm walking. And this is a walk I've seen guys take that I could only imagine taking. And I'm looking around at where I've spent the last 2 years, I guess, at the buildings, at the CEOs standing around congregating, talking, at the ducks, at the seagulls, at the pigeons, at the razor wire. I'm about to walk out of the only world that I've known for the longest time. The only world I could really imagine. I had lost grip with reality. I had lost grip with what it was to be free. I was good at being a convict. That sounds sad. But I was really good at just being incarcerated and how I moved and the things I did. I wasn't like everybody else. A lot of these guys just didn't know how to move. I had become good at this. I had mastered the art of incarceration. And now, the one thing that I've excelled at and become best at, which is being locked up, is now about to go away. I go up front. They give me the box that the girl brung up there with the clothes in it for me to change in. And tell me there's a bathroom right there. First, they give me the prison outfit, the khakis and the blue striped shirt. And I'm like, nah, I got a property box up here. Oh, let me see. She goes and gets it. She comes back. She goes, you do? I said, yeah, I do. She gives me my box. I go in the bathroom. I change. I come out. I'm fresh. First thing the guard says, damn, you got better shoes on than most of us. Yeah, I'm not like y'all. Load me in this little truck. And this dude that takes me is a whole entire dickhead. He's been a dickhead to me ever since I've been there. He ain't never been cool. And this dude's trying to carry conversation with me, right, as we're driving. And I outside of a prison without handcuffs on in over 10 years. I've been transported to hospitals here and there when I get hurt. I haven't been to, like, in a car where I could actually open the door. Or I wasn't in the back seat and I'm in the front seat of this little SUV with this dude. And he's still making small talk. He's just trying to talk to me. I guess, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Where you going? How's it feel? Man, you gonna be all right? He's like, just trying to talk. I'm not really talking. As this dude is talking to me, I'm in my head. First of all, I'm not gonna conversate with you because of how you've treated me while I have been locked up. You just treated me like I'm just, and he don't know me, but you didn't make my time easy. You went above and beyond when it came to being an asshole to me. Like, well, we ain't got nothing to talk about. But I'm in my head and I'm thinking about all my plans. How do I get started? What do I want to do first? What do I need to do? I'd set up all these goals, realistic goals inside of my head. And I'm trying to play for play think about what's next from moment to moment. And here I have this dude talking to me. And I can remember thinking, this dude's going to continue to be a guard. He's going to continue to come to this prison, have dudes curse him out, try to fight him, talk about his wife and his kids. He's going to continue to come here and lash back out, call them names, write them up. And not to sound cocky, I had already envisioned who Jay Williams was going to become. Like I told you, I said, I came to a point where I was like, I'm not going to be normal. I'm going to be great. And that's how I felt in that moment. Aside from being scared because I'd just been released, it was almost like I felt like they don't even know what they've done. They finally let the kid up out of there, man. It's time for me to go home and show the world, show everybody what I've been talking about. Show the girl, show my mom, show everybody that I didn't just talk while I was in here. Everything I said I was going to do, I'm going to do. We arrived at the bus station. All right, man. Glad to be the one that took you up here. Take care of yourself. And do a lot of talking. I hit him with the... Got out, shut the door. Now I've got a box that's got my belongings in it and my TV. They made me bring this damn TV home. I didn't want that TV. But the captain said, you better go get that TV. I'd actually given the TV to my homeboy. You better go get that TV. You ain't just letting, they want TVs, they got to buy them. You don't come up here with that TV, we're going to hold you till noon. I said, man, I ain't trying to stay in here a minute longer. So I went that morning and got my TV. Actually, the day before is when they pack your box. Told my homeboy, don't worry about it, I'll send you money to get you a TV. And I stayed true to my word. The day after I got out, I sent my homeboy money to get him a TV. But here I am, I've stepped out of this officer's truck. It's a little like Ford Explorer looking thing. I've got this TV under one hand and this box under the other. I'm looking around. I'm in Hampton, Virginia, at the Greyhound station. I am completely scared to death. No other way to put it. I am petrified. I just left everybody's worst nightmare, including my own. I just left a place where the unknown and chaos is normal. And here I stand with all the people that haven't been locked up before. And I'm scared. How does this even make sense that I'm scared of citizens, but I'm content and I'm okay when I'm locked up? I'm trying to take in all the colors, the bright colors everybody's wearing, because it's so bland in prison. Everything is the same. I'm trying to take in how the styles have changed. Why in the hell does everybody got on skinny jeans? Are they wearing Jordache? Like, I'm so confused right now as to why everybody has skinny jeans on. That man has got on an extra small pair of sweatpants. Well, what it's... I don't know what to do. Dudes got box haircuts, afros. White dudes got their hair growing out like surfers. I'm just trying to take in the fashion. When I left, I had on a pair of Rockaware jeans, falling off my ass. Now this dude's got on skinny jeans and they're sagging. Everywhere I look, people are on phones. When I left, people kicked it and talked. Everywhere I look, all I see is this. People on phones. Homeless people holding a sign. And behind the sign, they're holding their phone, speaking into the speakerphone. I'm like, trying to take all that in. I go to this 7-Eleven. I go in, I get me a 6-pack of Coronas. I told her to put the $20 under my sole of my shoe. I go in, I get me a 6-pack of Coronas. I come out, I go in an alleyway, I bucked 2 of them. I'm talking about like bucked them Coronas. I drank them shits like they were the last drops of water in the desert. I bucked them, guzzled them. So, boom, immediately I got a good little buzz. It helped me with my anxiety. I go over to the bus station, and I'm sitting there, and I see the sign that says, bags are subject to search. No weapons, alcohol, drugs. Violators will be kicked off the bus. Police will be notified. I'm institutionalized. In prison, they have signs everywhere that say things, and them signs mean things. If you've ever talked to somebody and they're talking reckless on a prison phone, saying things they shouldn't be saying, I want you to notice, above the phone is a sign that says, these calls can and will be monitored. They're being monitored. You learn to read all the signs in prison and know that they're the truth. So I see the sign at the bus station. I'm thinking, damn, they're going to check everybody's bags when we get on the bus. Alcohol is illegal in prison. I'm still institutionalized. They're going to find these 4 beers, these 4 Coronas, and kick me off the bus. I ain't even went to my PO yet. I ain't been out an hour. Like, hell to the no. Thinking about it now, that ain't no big deal, right? But that's my thoughts getting out of prison. I go in the bathroom, I throw them away. And I run to this black dude, I'm getting ready to throw them away. He's like, yo, what you doing with the beers? I said, I'm about to throw these shits in the trash. I just got out of prison, man. I'm not taking these on the bus. Let me get them. I give them to him. We're on the bus. He goes in the bathroom and drinks them. Driving on this bus, and I'm looking out the window, and I'm like, I was happy, I was elated, but I was also at the same time starting to like hit a depression. The severity of what I had done to my life, how much of my life I had wasted and just given away to the Department of Corrections and to institutes. Here I am, 34 years old now. Started getting locked up first time I got in trouble, I was like 10, 11 years old. Since then, it's been a nonstop process. Here I am on this bus at 34 years old, and I'm looking at how much the world has changed, and I'm just kind of ashamed of myself. Like, you don't live to be 500. I'm 34. My life is a third of the way gone. If I live to be 115, I've spent it all incarcerated. This is beautiful. I see the people and the families in cars riding beside the Greyhound bus. I'm looking at all the different cars I've never seen before. Looking at people's faces, looking at billboards, and they're moving. Before I went to prison, people got up there with the roller and put the paper on. Now the billboards are lit up and animated with LED lights and they're moving. Life as I knew it is gone. Like it's gone. And that sets in on me. And it takes a toll on me. But I have to maintain because I'm free. I can't. How you gonna be depressed and sad that you're free? You know what I mean? Like, tighten up, Jay, man. You're acting like a whole bitch right now. Get to the bus station. I get off. Go to my girl. She, runs up and hugs me. We get in her car. Where do you want to go? I'm hungry. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Just drive. So we're driving. I see Pizza Hut. Stop at Pizza Hut. Pizza sounds great right now. I ain't had a slice of real pizza in, 10 years, 4 months. Stop. I go in Pizza Hut. I eat the all-you-can-eat buffet. All the pizza I want. They just keep bringing pizzas out there and putting them underneath the heaters, right? I grab a pizza to go. We go out to the car. No sooner I get to the car, I get the bubble guts. Boom, boom, boom. All that grease hits me. I set the pizza on top of the car. I say, I'll be back. Where you going? I got to go to the bathroom. That had completely messed my whole system up. The pizza, the grease. I ain't had no grease like that in a very long time. I got to go drop a doozy ball bathroom. Here I come. I am about to serenade and bless the Pizza Hut bathroom. It is going down. Straight to Browntown we go, right? Go in the bathroom. I'm in there for a while. I come out like, that was crazy. I think pizza messed my stomach up. I called my son's grandma and I said, I'm out. And the girls got my phone that they wouldn't let me have. I'm on this phone trying to figure this phone out. I'm out. Where do you want me to meet you at? My son thinks I get out the following day. He doesn't know I'm a free man. I tell her where I'm at. She says, meet me here. She meets me at the Arby's. I told her, just pull up and park. I need to see my son. I miss my son. He needs his dad. And I need him just as much as, he needs me. We pull up and park a couple cars over, and I get out the passenger side door, and I duck down, and I creep around the back of the car I'm in, and I creep up on the passenger side door he's in, and I snatch the door, and I said, what's up, boy? And he turned, he looked at me, and, I scared him when I opened the door, so, your reaction is like to jump away from the door. He did like this, and then he, it honestly took him about 10 seconds to process that his father was standing beside the car, not in an orange jumpsuit, not inside of a prison, not with shackles or handcuffs on. But that was his dad. That's his dad standing there. I said, you going to just stand, you going to just sit there and stare at me? Get out and give me a hug, man. And he got out and couldn't believe it. Got out, gave me this huge hug, was crying. And I kissed him on his forehead and I said, I love you. You're out? And I'm like, yeah, I'm out. Thought you got out tomorrow. I told a little white lie so I could surprise you, right? What are you about to do now? You're going with me, man. Come on. So he gets in the car. We pull off. We go to my mom's house. And they got a big barbecue going on there. Bunch of family members. And, we all hang out and reunite. I meet a lot of family I didn't have prior to going to prison. There's a lot of kids running around that were never here. They were all born while I was in prison. And I'm standing in the kitchen and people are making plates and talking. And I don't have a close-knit family. Something that's got to happen for us all to come together. We don't just hang out like that. Family's talking and kids are getting to meet kids. And I start to feel like the world is closing in on me. Here I am, safe, out of prison, in the comfort of loved ones, at my mother's house. Nothing I should be afraid of. But in that moment, I really started to feel like the walls were closing in. There's people everywhere. It's just not normal to me, and it's scaring me. And I started to feel faint. I started to feel sick to my stomach. I started to feel sweaty and clammy, like I just needed to run, like I needed to get away. Like remember Forrest Gump, one day I just started running? That's how I felt in that moment, like I just wanted to run. I went out the back door, and I walked down the steps to the patio area, to the end of the little sidewalk. And in the moments, I started thinking about everything I've been through. Everything I've told y'all in these stories. Every time I laughed, every time I smiled, every horrific incident. The men that I left behind that had life sentences that I knew were good men that would never come home. I looked at my phone and I seen the time, and all I could think is, it's almost count time. My friends are going to lock in, go to chow. I knew it was like I was programmed to do this. And I just completely crumbled. I fell apart standing there. I just started crying, started sobbing. My mom, I guess, looked around everybody in the house and realized I wasn't in there, looked out the window and see me and walked out behind me. And I'm standing there and it's almost like everything went deathly quiet. Even though there was noise, cars going by, the wind blowing, it was like I couldn't hear anything. I could only hear what was in my head. And my mom walked up, put her hand on my shoulder. When it did, it kind of snapped me back. And I looked back at her, and she seemed, I was crying. She was like, you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm good, Mom. She was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Why are you upset? Something happened? No, Mom, nothing happened. So why are you upset? Why are you crying? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm happy. I don't know if I'm scared. I don't know what it is. It was just a lot to take in. We finish up that night. I go stay with my sister for a couple weeks. That night, I got annihilated, shit-faced, trunk. Take me to the liquor store. I went and opened up a Wells Fargo account, a bank account, cashed my check, deposited a couple hundred, kept over $6,000 in cash on me, went shopping, bought some clothes, and I went to the liquor store and got a big-ass bottle of Jack Daniels, the biggest bottle they had. I drank that bottle that night by myself. Bought a whole bunch of other bottles of liquor for the people that were going to be at my sister's place. Me and the girl, we're kicking it. She's happy. I'm her man. I'm home. The next day, my brother-in-law, he's got to go to work. And I'm like, where do you work at? And he's like, I work at a flooring company. I'm like, you think you can get me a job? He's like, I think I can tell them that you're looking for a job, but you're going to have to talk to them and see what's up. I said, all right, I'm not a guy that takes no easily for an answer. I'm a guy that when I set my mind to do something, I'm going to do it. So I go up there the next day. I have my girl take me up there, and I introduce myself, and the guy's like, yeah, you're the guy that just got out of prison, huh? Yeah, that's me. I did just get out of prison. What were you in prison for? Robbery and malicious wounding. Oh, so you got a temper. No, I don't have a temper, man. I had a temper. I can start you off at this. It's like $10.50 an hour. I'm like, that'll work. But you're on a probation period. You're not going to be up here when somebody says something to you, thinking you're going to shank somebody up or beat somebody up here. You're on a 30-day probation period. One little problem with you and you're fired. Right out the gate, I had been judged. You know what I mean? I just got home. Like, you really think I'm out? I just did 10 years and I'm come home and just go maniac with a shank in my sock or something? I told him, man, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm not who I used to be. I just want to work. All right? I'll give you a job. He gives me a job. In the meantime, I moved from my sister's and with my girlfriend. She's staying with a lady named Kelly Kersey. Shout out and salute to you, Kelly, and thank you for everything that you ever did. Thank you for believing in me and being one of the people that saw something else in me. My wife stays with Kelly. Kelly is a pediatric trauma nurse. She deals with children that have, had traumatic events happen and have gotten hurt. And I continue to work this job. My son, in the meantime, is staying with me pretty much every single night. Doesn't ever want to go home. I don't want him to go home, He'd sleep in the bed right with me and my girl, right? He'd sleep right in between us or sleep beside me, whatever. We share the bed. I buy a Cadillac Eldorado, sitting on 22s, all blacked out, all black leather interior. I hadn't been out now, not even 90 days. Tattooing. As soon as I got out, my mom and them had bought me a little bit of my tattoo equipment. My sister and her husband had bought me some tattoo equipment. I've got all this tattoo equipment. I can draw. I brought all my tattoo books from prison home with me. I'm tattooing any chance I get. I done tattoo my sister, her husband, people that live out there where they live at. Now that I'm working this construction job, guys there want tattoos. I'm tattooing them. Some of these dudes live in the projects. They're introducing me to more people. I'm doing tattoo parties. I am working 7 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days, sometimes 7. If they let me work 7, I work 7. I'm tattooing 7 days a week. I've saved up money. I've bought this car. I'm starting to buy my own little tools, starting to accumulate clothes, rebuilding relationships with the people that I hurt and left behind. Get to about a 6-month mark, and we need to get our own place. Not even 6 months. Somewhere around there, maybe 5 months. I start stacking my money, and we get our first house. Our first house is in the projects. It's, we live off Byron. No, it's not. Bryce, off Broad Rock, in between Hall Street and Broad Rock Road. It's a cut road with a bunch of houses on it, and people cut through there to avoid the cops because there's a lot of cops out there. Gunshots all day, people getting shot all the time. You go to Food Line up the street and there's armed security in there, and the Food Line looks like it ain't been swept or mopped since it was built 30 years ago. The Dollar General up the street's got armed security inside of it. We live in a rough area. Come home one day, and right before we had moved, I proposed to my wife. I got down on one knee. I didn't do it all romantical, go somewhere, this, that, and that. When it's time, it's time. And we were in the bedroom, and she was laying on the bed watching TV, and I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and I went to Zales earlier that day, and I bought the ring, and I had it in my pocket, and I had a plan of all the stuff I was going to do so we could have the picture perfect moment. I couldn't wait. Anxiety got the best of me. So she just sitting on the bed, and I just got down on one knee and was like, yo, I love you. You know what I mean? Like, will you marry me? Short span. I mean, I think that's August, September, October, November. In less than 4 months, I got married, right? Now we're in our first home. I've got full custody of my son. Haven't even been in full 6 months yet. I've got my driver's license back. I just bought a pickup truck, an older Ford F-150, a Dodge Durango, another green F-150. I sold it. Well, I actually gave the DeVille to one of my wife's friends that needed a car. I got tired of the cops pulling me over in it because I looked like a whole entire drug dealer driving it. So I gave it to a girl named Aisha, right? What up, Aisha? And they were playing with me at this job, and they just would not. I just felt like they would not. There was no room to grow because I was an ex-con. That's how he treated me. Be happy with the $10.50 an hour. I had shined time and time again. I'd shown him my worth, and it just didn't matter. The man lied to me, would not give me a raise. I've been doing little things on the side here and there as far as like helping out the lady I was renting the house from. I'd actually, in the evenings, gotten off work and flipped 2 small houses for her. Miss Ismarie. Thank you, Ismarie. And that helped build my confidence into, all right, I do know what I'm doing. I do remember all this stuff. I do remember the trades I was taught in prison. It's time to put this stuff to work. The man didn't give me my raise. I quit. Everybody there, everybody was like, you ain't gonna quit, man. Stop playing. Like, you're an ex-con. Ain't nobody just gonna hire you. I'm gonna start my own construction company. Yeah, okay. Like, people just go start their own construction companies every day. No, really, I'm gonna start my own construction company. Nobody saw what I saw. Nobody knew my potential. I knew my potential. I knew my worth. I knew what I had planned up here. It had always been what I had planned up here. It's time to put it into act. You know, there's no better time than the current moment. People go their whole lives and never pursue their dreams because they're scared to jump out there. They're scared of, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh man, nah, what about this? Or what if I fail there? I'm not worried about that. I'm going after it. At first, I was failing miserably. I didn't know how to price jobs. My employees were making more money than me. The jobs were coming in because we were doing great work. You know, I was having to go into my rent money and my tattoo money to pay the guys, putting me at negative $1,200 for the week. Oh man, what am I gonna do, man? We're living in the projects. I can't even afford the rent. I just started this construction company. I'm 2 months in. I'm negative $6,000. I'm gonna have to shut this down. And then everything started to make sense. I actually started calling people to come out and give me quotes on these jobs. I called 2 or 3 people. And then I would base my price off of not the lowest quote I got, not the highest quote I got, but somewhere in the middle. And it also gave me the baseline of what I should be charging for the things I was licensed in. And they charge this. I don't know how to price these jobs. I start to get it all together. I post an ad one day on Craigslist, and that ad took off. My wordplay, the things I said in the ad, I got contacted the same day, and the guy that hit me up on that day was a big investor. He's a lawyer, he's an investor, he's a great human being, he's a great man. Nothing free with him. You're going to earn everything. But he does real estate. He needs contractors. He needs a guy like me that can come in from A to Z and flip his houses. Get a baseline of what I charge to do each individual thing, and we'll go from there. That took off. I remember the first time when I finally got it right. Months now, we've been struggling. Like, because of me not knowing how to price these jobs, we've been struggling. And I remember when I finally got it right, when I finally got the pricing right, the quotes right, the estimates right, and I walked in the house for the first time with money, with real money, not no $1,000, $1,200. I'm talking about real money. I just took $5-6 grand and just threw it on the bed. And all I could think prior to that is, I'm gonna have to start doing illegal things. I'm gonna have to go back to drug dealing. I gotta take care of my family. I can't let my son see his pops fail, you know. I can't fail my wife, man. Everybody's depending on me. Jay, you gotta get it. But I didn't. I weathered the storm, continued to pray, continued to grind, continued to do what's taking place around me right now, construction. And it took off. I walked in, my wife was laying in the bed. She had just got off work. And I threw like $6,000 on the bed. And she was like, what is that? All the money you got to give to your guys? I said, no, that's ours. What do you mean that's ours? That's ours. And that's what it's going to be from here on out. I got it right. I finally figured it out. We're going to be okay. Come home one day, and I got my wife. She's in the passenger seat. My son's in the back seat. And somebody has drove by the house and thrown a dead body out the car. It came out in the news. They killed the guy somewhere else. We're driving down our street, just stopped and threw his dead body out into the ditch line. So we're pulling up to my house, and there's a dead body laying there. Now my family don't feel safe, and I don't feel safe for them. There were days I would go to work at 6 in the morning, and I wouldn't return till 8 the following morning because I would work 24, 26 hours. It's my company. My guys don't have to work like I do, but for me to make it blow up, I'm going to have to put the groundwork in. My average day consisted 18-hour days. That's just what I did 7 days a week. I did this for, the first year and a half. It was 80+ hours every single week. I said, we got to move. We can't stay here, man. I can't be here to protect y'all. I need to be able to work and know y'all are safe. So we moved to a tri-level. I saved up in this house. It's like damn near twice the price of what I'm paying now, but now I'm making the money to do that. Moved to this beautiful tri-level house. Nice neighborhood I used to actually know people in. I used to be like, damn, my homeboy lives in a cool house, right? We get this tri-level. And from there, I just continued to grind. Continued. Yeah, there's no possible way I can fit all this in today's story, man. Too much has happened since then. So there will be a part 4. Stay tuned. We moved from the projects, moved into a big, beautiful house, and I still wasn't content. It wasn't enough. I hadn't done one of the biggest things I wanted to do since I've been out, and that was I hadn't reached people yet. I hadn't made an impact. Yes, I'm flipping houses that people go on to turn into their homes. But I don't feel like I've given back to the world. I don't feel like I've made any positive impact that can so much as shake a stick to all the negative I've done. Stay tuned for the finale, part 4. Now, when I started the My Life series with part 1, I picked up at 17. I knew I'm now 41. I knew it was going to be hard to cram 24 years worth of life into these videos. I left a lot out today. I edited a lot out today. Like the feelings of standing outside that prison and pausing for a moment to look at it from the other side of the fence. Amazing. The feeling is just unexplainable. And as much as I wanted to stand there and just take it all in, I wanted nothing more but to run, like just get far away from this place as possible, as quickly as possible. I left all that out, but I needed to share that with y'all. That is definitely how I felt in that moment of coming home. Get far, far away from here now. A lot has happened. We moved into that tri-level. I remodeled it. Made it the home I always dreamed of. And then it wouldn't be a couple years later, YouTube came into play. I started watching YouTube shortly after getting out because that was my way to catch up with the world and what was going on in technology and this person and that person. I'm seeing guys I know from prison on YouTube. And I just feel like this is my time. Get your foot in the door. This is how you're going to reach the world. Everybody else I talked to, before I ever even knew I was going to be a YouTuber, if that's what you want to call it, that's the label you want to put on me. Before I even knew, everybody I talked to said, you need to go speak to people, Jay. Like, you have a story to tell. You can help people. You can change people. You can save people. And I told y'all sitting in the hole, I pondered on that. I knew my calling was there was something greater. I had done so much bad in the world. It's time to do some good. I'd taken from people, hurt people. Being a drug dealer, I destroyed lives. Robbing people, I hurt people. I fought and physically hurt people time and time again. How do you make that right? I'm not the guy I once was, but it doesn't change what I did. I have to try to make this right. I have to try to help others. That's what part 4 is going to lead into. How did we get here? How in the hell am I on this camera talking to you right now, sitting in my car? You ever watch me and forget that I'm watching a dude that is in his car? This is my comfort zone. When I'm in my car, it's complete silence. I'll drive sometimes, no music on, just so I can think. Headed down the highway, going to the next job, headed home, headed to work, headed to the warehouse, headed to get supplies. And when it's quiet, I can think. But yeah, I'm a guy. I'm in my car. Big, beautiful house. Moving to a new one soon. Years and years have passed, and I'm still here. How did that happen? At the point in the story we just left off at, I'm about, I'd say roughly a year free. A year out. There's still 6 more years to go. So much has happened. So much has transpired. I've learned so much. I've lost so much. I've done so much. And I'm far from done. So I'm pretty sure in a couple years, there'll be a part 5 to this. Because life doesn't stop for anybody. Even if you die, life goes on. But anyways, these jails, detention centers, these prisons, these facilities are all just crazier worlds inside of this already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. To all my real ones. And there are some real ones watching. Because y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute.